So Armin's there. He's not blonde anymore. That's because, this movie is made by Japan. It's not one of those Americanized anime adaptations. This was made by the country that gave us the anime. So that's why he's Asian instead of white.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic that, a lot of animes have apparently star white people in them.
Yeah, and then when they're not white, people complain, like Dragon Ball Z. They were like, oh, these people are white, they're not supposed to be white, they're supposed to be Asian. And then when this movie came out, Attack on Titan, that did star Asian, actors, all Asian actors, people were like, oh, they're not supposed to be Asian, they're supposed to be white. Armin doesn't have the right color of hair. So you can never be happy with those people. So anyway, you got Armin, and then you got you got Mikasa as Tsukasa.
You mean Mikasa?
Sure, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Mikasa as Tsukasa. So anyway, so Mikasa is the female lead of the franchise. She's the badass female warrior of the group. She don't need no man. Although in this movie, but anyway, and then we have Aaron, the badass of the group. Although he looks badass here, even though he's supposed to look average. But anyway, so Armin's there with his trademark scarf, and he's looking at a bomb. Apparently, it's probably that bomb that was ridden by a cowboy in Doctor Strangelove. And they're like, ooh, look, it has an ocean on it. We're ignoring the bikini girl and the boobies and just looking straight at the ocean, painted on this bomb. And, that's supposed to, make it clear to us that yes, we get it, guys. Yes, this is supposed to take place in an alternate future of our own. We get it. Stop being different. But anyway, then they come across a character who's supposed to be like the authority figure, who I guess was in the anime, although he might have had a different name and sort of a different role. That authority douchebaggy character who's like, I'm the authority figure. And his name here is Soda. Hopefully it's a Coca-Cola product and not a Pepsi. That's just my preference, frankly. So I'm okay with you, Soda.
I think it's Sauda.
Well, that sounds weird. That sounds like you're trying to say soda, but you have an accent. So anyway, Soda Pop is telling Aaron about, hey, I tried to bone your mom, but then your mom decided to hook up with your dad, thus giving birth to you. Aren't I making this awkward? But then, all of a sudden, the awkwardness is thankfully ended by a Titan!
Yes, we finally get a Titan!
Yes, now we get to see the giant, the giant poster boy of the, Attack on Titan franchise in front of us finally. Yes, when people think of Attack on Titan, they think of the main Titan, the one that looks like the muscular system in all his giant glory. Oh God, he's obviously CGI.
Yeah, more than usual. I mean, I know we're used to seeing CGI all the time, but good God, this guy looks like a video game character.
Yeah, good God, I mean, what the hell? I mean, okay, here's the thing. This isn't all that bad. This giant Titan that clearly is CGI and is like, they spent a very long time rendering him, and they probably it looks like they didn't even completely render him. He looks like one of those characters from one of those early PBS shows. Oh, let's talk about education. And also, he's very limited in what he does. He just shows up. He waves his arms and he yells. And there's smoke and fire around him, and then he leaves. He's basically one of those giant animatronic robots from theme parks. He's basically like King Kong from the King Kong ride at Universal Studios. Yeah, and that's weird. Like, why doesn't he do more shit?
Maybe they're saving him up, You don't want to waste your big main villain the whole time.
That's true. So anyway, So let me move the mic a little bit. Let me just move it ever so slightly.
You know, they probably heard that completely.
Shut up. So now that he's shown up, everyone's like, "Oh shit, the Titans! Oh, the Titans have arrived! Oh no! Na 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 na! Hey hey hey! We're getting eaten!" So anyway, the giant Uber Titan, before he leaves in all his CGI shittiness, he kicks the wall, a big ol' hole, and of course, he's not the main Titan of the series. Well, he is, but I mean, he's not the only Titan of the series. There's other Titans in this, franchise, and they all look way stupider than him.
Yeah, but that's a given. You know, like, he's the only one who looks like that, except for a few other exceptions. But for the most part, most of the Titans just look like normal people who happen to be giants and naked.
Yes, and apparently they decided to accurately adapt that way more accurately than they needed to. Like, these are flat out just a bunch of regular people given like pasties on their private parts and are just hired there to be like, okay, just walk around looking all weird and naked. Good. So we get our Titans for the movie, our adaptation of the Titans, and holy shit, do they look friggin' absurd and stupid and weird.
Yeah, now, to be fair, that was kind of the way it was in the anime.
Yeah, there were times in the anime where there were occasions in the anime where it felt kind of goofy. You know, they didn't really feel like monsters sometimes. They just felt like the silly looking naked people running around all weirdly. But, not to this extent. It wasn't to this extent of awkward weirdness, This is just plain goofy. This is just the goofiest of people just going around. Like, sometimes it's hard to be scared because of all the goofiness. Like, instead of being scared by actual legitimate monsters, you're like, oh, that guy, everyone has a derp face, And that's what they all sound like, too.
Yeah, also, Now, as I said before, it was kind of like that a little bit in the anime sometimes, but not all the time here.
Yeah, and plus, something that helped make the Titans look a lot less goofy in the anime was that, you didn't hear that much sound from them, really. You didn't hear that much sound from them. They were very quiet, so you only had their looks to go by, and it was very disturbing, just disturbing imagery with their faces. Sometimes it was a blank stare, and sometimes it was just happy stare, and all kinds of different faces, different distorted faces. Some were regular faces, and others were just plain distorted and disturbing. And here they try to do that exact same thing, but the execution is like way off because some things just frankly work better in animation, unfortunately. Some things just work better in animation, trying to pull off that eeriness, that creepiness. Because here, it just looks comical. There's one guy who looks like Sid the Sloth from Ice Age. Like, his eyes are all the way apart, and that's just plain comical. And there's just people who just look like they were just asked to be on this set, and we're like, hey, are you okay with being naked? And they're like, okay, fine. Look like you're hungry. Okay. There's one guy who clearly looks like he's wearing one of those muscle suits that you wear for Halloween, which is appropriate for this review, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, it all comes off as a very more comical than it is horrifying. Not to say it isn't completely horrifying, because keep in mind from their perspective, if I was in their shoes and I saw those kinds of people, these giant naked people with those kinds of goofy, big goofy expressions, I probably wouldn't be laughing. I would probably shit my pants and I'd probably be scared for all hell with them picking me up and chewing me and breaking off half of my body so they can chew it. So yeah, so from a matter of perspective, yeah, I'd be friggin' scared for my friggin' life. Like, good God, that's probably what hell looks like. I mean, let's face it, like, even though these guys look goofy as all fuck, at least, you know, it still looks like something you would not want to see in real life. Like, that is not something you want to see in real life heading towards you, no matter what size it is. Oh, by the way, there's some smaller titans that have, like, Easter Island heads. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on there, but anyway, so they're all badly keyframed into these scenes, and they're attacking the civilians, and you know, all hell breaks loose, and you know, our trio of protagonists are trying to be safe. Armin, I don't know where the hell he goes, but for some reason he's no longer in the scene. But with Eren and Mikasa, they're together, and you know, they're close, and you know, they're close together, which is great. That was from the comic books.
Well, not in the right way.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Here's one of the other big changes for this from the anime. I don't know if this was, like I said before, I have not seen the manga, but from what I know from the anime, Eren and Mikasa are supposed to be step siblings. Or foster siblings, I should say. Eren is Mikasa's foster brother. She was adopted into their family. They're not supposed to be all straight up love interests. In fact, I don't think they were even love interests with each other in any form, at least in the anime, and I doubt it was in the manga either. So, what the hell? Why are you making them boyfriend and girlfriend in this?
Yeah, that was friggin' weird. Not to say that they shouldn't be together. I just think that's. Did they really have to do that?
Yeah, I didn't find that necessary. I mean, I guess it's because they want to make it more fit for a movie, and I guess they were thinking that this is more of a movie thing to do instead of having them just be foster siblings. Let's make them straight up love interests for each other. But I never got that in the anime. I never even wanted them to be together in the anime. You know, I didn't care for that because they made me in love with the idea of them being brother and sister. I much preferred that way of doing it. You know, I much preferred that way of going at it because I felt like it worked better. So, why the change?
Well, of course, it's so they could do the main storyline of the movie they decided to pull out of their ass.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Oh, God. So they try to get into a church, and the priest or whatever lets in Eren, but he doesn't let in Mikasa. No, because he's like, okay, too many people in the church, and so he closes the doors, and then Eren's like, no, you're letting Mikasa getting eaten by one of the Titans. And as we watch this happen in front of us, we realize that this is sort of a pseudo adaptation of his mother's death in the anime, and we're like, wait a minute, are they replacing Mikasa for his mother, which means that she's gonna die in this? No!
Yeah, she's one of the most badass characters in the anime. You can't just kill her off, just like that. You can't Gwen Stacy her. She's less deserving of it.
Yeah, so, boy, so we have that scene, but we don't see her. We don't see a body. We don't see no body. Instead, he just looks back out the window and doesn't see her anymore. Oh, so she had a baby with her, so we clearly know where they're going with that. But anyway, so he gets out of the church to go find her, and then right after he does that, a bunch of Titans eat the people in the church. So I guess that's supposed to be a vague a vague message about religion, I guess, about how religion is corrupted, but they don't spend enough time with that. But anyway, who cares? The church smorgasbord. So anyway, moving on from that, let's move on over to 2 years later. So yes, 2 years have passed, and then we find out, there Armin was. He was with Aaron, and they have joined the military, or at least this film's version of the military. What's it called? The regiment? The Scout Regiment? They're scouts now. They're Boy Scouts, and they're gonna go sell people cookies. But no, they're not those kinds of scouts. They're the kind of scouts that the franchise is known for, wearing the brown jackets and the symbols on the jackets, and the big epic swords and the grappling system that they use to fly around across the rooftops. Very neat, nice stuff going on.
Too bad we never see any of that.
Yeah, we don't see that until the climax of the movie. But until then, we get a little bit of sense of what these authority figures are like. The upper scouts, and what we see is the leader of the scout regiment, who looks like a Nazi. So he's all like, yes, we've had to button down ever since Titans come. So now we are basically Nazis now, which is why I am dressed up like a Nazi. But instead of a swastika, I have a unicorn symbol. Because I love unicorns. They are my favorite mythological animal. Oh, but anyway, let's move on. Now I'm going to introduce to you one of the very few characters from the anime here. Yeah, there's speaking of which, yes, there are a few, anime characters here. Very few from the actual anime. Like I said, we got our main three, but we only have a couple who are actually from the anime besides them. For some reason, one of them is the Potato Girl. I don't know why they felt the necessity to get rid of all the other characters except for her. And the other one they also kept was the chick who looks just suspiciously like Sarah Palin.
Maybe she's not supposed to look like Sarah Palin. Maybe she's supposed to look like Tina Fey. You never know.
Yeah, so anyway, so Sarah Palin Fey, so Tina Palin Fey Sarah, she's the geeky girl from the anime. But what's weird is that in the anime, she didn't show up until midway through the season, after Eren had that what happened to him. That was after that. But with this movie, they decided to just bunch that up and, compact it into one movie. At least we think that's what's going on. But anyway, so they compact it all down. So they're like, okay, screw it, let's just skip over all that and just introduce her here and make it more obvious that she's a woman than in the anime, where apparently she's like transgender, but for all we know, she could still be transgender, and she's a stunning, beautiful individual. She's brave and stunning and beautiful and brave, an inspiration to us all. And so anyway, so the nerdy girl, who looks like Sarah Palin, is has greatly retained her personality from the anime, if not simplified it kind of, down to a science of, I love Titans, I want to experiment on them and then have sex with them. Well, that's not what she outright says, but she might as well say that. So so she's obsessed with Titans, and she gets up into hissy fits about, I want to experiment on a fucking Titan. But anyway, so we get some character development scenes, showing that Armin is a bit of a geek, theorizing how he believes that they should fix the war, and Eren is in a fight with a bully asshole, because apparently whenever you do this type of film with a military-esque feel, you always have to have a bully there for some reason. I don't know why, but you have to.